Hey, what's up guys? Demo14 here. Coming at you with like a different type of video. This was like, I guess it kind of is a response at this point. I didn't really want it to be, but it was something that I thought about when, Megatons posted about how much does this cost to play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! And it might be less than you think. Kind of originated from another video. I forget the exact one that he did where like the concept of this Yu-Gi-Oh! Pay to win came up, and that's why originally got this idea. Kind of like almost almost like a research idea, I guess, or like a database idea to like actually like measure how competitive the game is. So I'll get into what I did a little bit later, but basically his point is that sorry, I'm looking at my notes here. That the average competitive player, he does admit, that the game is expensive. Like, obviously, like, I mean, you look at the prices, it's obviously expensive, so that's good. But he does say the average competitive player can afford the deck. He cites how format after format, the same people keep coming back with the, really expensive decks and everything. And that seems to be like his main point, his main distinction from like, the game is the game is expensive, but it's not way too expensive. But I'll be going into like why I think that his definition of not too expensive is a little out there. Even I mean the cards are the staples that you need are really expensive. I'll be going over the data I did on that in a little bit. And like he cites like how back in Teledad, even like in Teledad format, how the prices, even though they were ridiculously expensive, like decks were like worth over $1,000. Then they're like just having like even like a deck that's not like totally like blamed out or whatever, or you pay for like everything, like for a $12 deck, like a few hundred less. That's still it never felt out of his range. But I think that I still think it's kind of ridiculous because you're just you're assuming that like hundreds of dollars is within somebody's range, and obviously it is. Like he cites that people keep going into tournaments over and over with these expensive decks, but you have to be careful when you. I guess I'm talking to Cap at this point. You have to be careful when you make overgeneralizations about this. And I think this is an overgeneration. He does mention a couple of times how like some people might not agree with his definition, but he doesn't really dwell on that. He kind of just says it's not too expensive, like, and keep citing Teledad, but like whether it's like a 10,000, 1,000, or like 500, like it's still expensive. Like no matter, like expensive is expensive. I mean, like honestly, like paying for more than like $20 over a card, in my opinion, is expensive. Like, and that's like being a little bit generous. And he talks about towards the end of his video, he talks about a like basically if you pick a deck like and stay with it for format after format, you invest like say $600 in from initially, and you have it for a year and you keep playing with it for a year. That's $42 per month, which in itself sounds good, but it's not like you're like renting the deck or having a subscription to the deck and you're paying $42 per month at a time where you can actually budget for that. No, you have to throw $600 at once. So like, I mean, I definitely can't afford to throw $600 at Yu-Gi-Oh! At once. So yeah, I take a little bit of an issue with that. I mean, again, he does stipulate, he does clarify what he's he clarifies his points that he's talking about. But still, I think he still made this a little bit too general. And anyway, onto the thing that I actually before that, one last thing, just in general overall points. The Mass Hero deck that I built for the regionals I went to, which I didn't do well in at all. I went like 3-5 and then dropped. Was I wound up paying $98.05 for that, and that was with no desires, and then borrowing cards from my friends. So like I borrowed Strike from my friends, I borrowed Utopia Lightning, I borrowed the Augusto Emerald. I borrowed a lot of the expensive cards that would have made my purchase a lot more. Like originally, like buying all those cards, I would have had was over $200. But I was able to save a lot by getting my friends to lend me cards and then going from there. Which is something he does mention in the video, and like that's something you can do. And I would encourage you to do that if you want to play competitively, like with the expensive cards and stuff. But again, I just think he's still just a little too general. And yeah, anyway, so something I started with before, like I watched this video and kind of got thinking about this and specifically responding to this in particular. I actually went to Yugioh.tcgplayer.com with the advanced format Decklist, and I basically went through. Actually, I haven't gone through these. I'm just noticing that these are new. So I haven't gone through these yet. But I have gone through all the other top 8s and all the other like first and second places, some special events. Since Desires. Sorry, I just want to make sure that wasn't the fire alarm. Since Desires dropped with Dark Illusion coming out. And so like I went through every deck, like clicked on the links on the left under the title, and just looked to see, did they have Desires, did they have Ghost Reaper Cherries, and did they have Solemn Strike in the X deck, and like basically trying to see like do you have to have these cards to top 8 basically. And what I found was, starting off with the one that is not the cheapest, but like had the lowest percentage. Ghost Reaper Cherries, $37 card right now at the time of filming this video, which is November 10th. Ghost Reaper Cherries had 35% of the top decks that I reviewed, in total, there were 270 decks that I looked at, and out of those, 95 of them had running Ghost Reaper Winter Cherries, or 35%. Next, Solemn Strike, $37 card right now from Megatons. They go by the Megatons, so that's a cheaper version. 151 decks were running Strike, or 56%. And then lastly, Pod Desires, which is, jeez, man, that's ridiculous, like $89 right now. And 202 decks are running Pod Desires with 75%. Like those are rounded to the nearest whole percent, by the way. But anyway, for Ghost Reaper Cherries, like you don't have to, as of now, you don't have to have. I would argue you don't have to run this card to top 8. You can definitely do fine without it. It helps a lot, especially with this format of ABCs, but you don't have to run it, because it's only 35% of people top 8'd since Pod Desires dropped running it. Solemn Strike, 56%. This is such a good card, like just in general. Like as soon as bots dropped, I mean, people were like picking up this card. I mean, it's really good. I would say you should be running out of the 3 staples and going over. If you want to try to be competitive, but like you want to save as much money as possible, I would recommend trying to get 3 versions of Solemn Strike, either from your friends, or buy 1 copy online and then get a couple others from your friends, because I would recommend doing that. And I would say, like, if you're looking at it, 56% is more than half, slightly more than half. That means like half. If you go in the top 8, without this, there's a less than 50% chance that you'll top 8. If you're going to a tournament without this, there's a less than 50% chance that you will top 8. So I would recommend running this card for sure. And just in general, like out of the 3, it's the cheapest. Not that much cheaper than Ghost Reaper and Cherries. Actually, it's the same. But yeah, I would recommend trying to figure out if there's a way you can get this. Maybe just every once in a while buy a Megaton that's $20 and then you get some profit. I was lucky and was able to pull one from Megaton to reach on 1, 2, and got the other 2 for around $25 each. So I was lucky, but yeah. And then finally, Pod Desires. It's like 75%. So that means you have if you take this to if you run this at a regional, three, like, this is like not, probably wouldn't hold up, like, actually. But if you think about it, if you go to 4 regionals, 3 out of those 4 regionals you will top if you run this. Now I know there's like a lot of other factors involved, like skill, like these cards don't make you win inherently. You have to know how to play them, when to play them, etc. But assuming that 3 out of 4 times, 3 out of 4 regionals, when you, or competitive events, when you run this card, you will top 8. Or like, top of YCS or whatever. So I think it's clear that this card is very good. Like ever since people started like running it like crazy. Unfortunately, it's really expensive. So a lot of people are not going to be able to afford to run this. I would say that this is basically required to top 8, which makes me consider the game pay to win, or pay to top 8. Like, I don't know about win. There were a lot, like, on here, there were a lot of, like, 9 through 16th, 17th through 32nd slots, but they were, like, so few in comparison to the, top 8 slots. So I just didn't count them. I could go back and count them for comparison, but, like, I wouldn't be surprised with, like, the top 32 as well. Like, the percentages, like, if you factor the top 32 in, like, the percentages would be very similar to what they are now. And also with, like, these latest things. It looks like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So, like, if all those have Pot Desires, it's probably going to remain roughly the same, like, all the cards, like, it's probably remain roughly the same percentage. Maybe, like, a percentage point down or up, but overall they should still be the same. Where am I going? Back to Pot Desires. So I would, based on this alone and the fact that about 75% of people who've gone to competitive events gone to competitive Yu-Gi-Oh events since Dark Illusion dropped and this card was legal, run Pot Desires in their decks, I would say the game is pay to win, because this is nuts. And, like, again, in terms of Cap saying, like, oh, you can invest $600 and it'll pay for itself over time, like, again, it's the initial investment. Like, seriously, if I had to buy, like, a playset of this, dude, that's $270, like, right there for a playset. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. So, like, I don't know, like, where he got his money from, or I guess he makes enough money from YouTube to do, dish out, spend a lot of money for this, but, like, $600 isn't just like, oh, you just go and do it. The average competitive player can do it. Like, no. Like, I would prefer, like, if this was, like, a $25, $30 card, then it would be fine. Like, I don't think this should be cheap. This shouldn't be, like, a $1, $2 card for sure. But, like, if it was, like, significantly cheaper, like, even, like, Strike or Ghost Reaper Winter Cherries, so I was like, okay, I see you. I could probably make do with, like, 2 even. But, I don't know. I really think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is pay to win. It's, like, can you win without running any of these 3? Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, my data shows that. I mean, 25% of people who topped didn't run Pot Desires. So, I mean, there is a chance you can top 8 without running these cards. I'm just saying, like, in general, or for the most part, the game is pay to win. And I don't like that. I mean, like, cards can be, like, expensive, but, like, not this expensive. Like, come on. And it's not directly Konami's fault per se. It's just a secondary market hyping up cards that are legitimately good, but then, like, having the prices skyrocket. So that's just kind of Yu-Gi-Oh! We live in. I'm just, like, here to say that in order to top 8, I would say it is pay to win. Absolutely, for sure. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you agree with my philosophy or my reasoning or logic behind this? If not, please comment. Let me know. Like, I want to start a discussion. Like, let's have a discussion. And I'll be leaving the link to Capital G's video, as well as the Yugioh Decklist place in the description below. And yeah, so just let me know what you think. Other than that, thanks for watching, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe. If we get to 100 subscribers. I'll do Star Wars comparisons. The link below will be there will be a link below to my winter fan the movie trailer playlist. I just added today, as of November 10th. I just added the newest trailer from Star Wars Rogue One, the international trailer, which is awesome. It's really cool. So I'm gonna need to check at least that out. And the playlist has trailers from Doctor Strange, so it has to be somewhere to find them, and Star Wars Rogue One. And yeah, I'm actually gonna start filming some DDD stuff now, or at least hopefully I can get at least one match at least filmed tonight before I go to bed. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you all next time.